Somebody linked me this thread this morning. It said, CD said 2400 in Shuffle is an entry-level rank in PvP. Careful, that Hunter is a troll. This guy's a troll, Zanzu? Oh, really? All right, so I found the statement to be offensive for the vast majority of the community. Find that 2400 Shuffle is just as hard, if not harder, than 2400 in any other PvP bracket. Okay, so the one thing I'll say about that is there's a huge inconsistency in 2400, right? I think we can all agree on that. Like 2400 doesn't mean anything. It has no meaning in a lot of ways. Like, so at least in rated 3s. In rated 3s, 2400 doesn't mean anything. It's like, if you go to the season 1 of Shadowlands, 2400, there's 8,000 people above 2400. Now 2400 is like, bro, you're competing against like the best players in the game, you know, like 24. If you're playing above 2400 right now, you're really, really, really solid, you know? So in 3s at least. But it all depends on the season and how many people are playing, right? That's how rating inflation works. I would say 95% of the people who participate in PvP do not have friends lists of people who can queue 2s and 3s with moment's notice. Most of us do not like LFG, as evidenced by the death of the old brackets, and for a majority of us, Shuffle is the only viable game mode currently in PvP. A ton of people are happy to even get 1800, and why shouldn't they be? People can finally play the game and improve and not rely on LFG, and the primary people for the same reason hate this are elitist 3s, players who are salty that no one cares about their bracket anymore. We should celebrate 1800, 2100, 2400 Shuffle the same way we celebrate it in 2s and 3s. They're out of touch. Most esports games has like 4 or 6 abilities. One of the hardest MOBA games, Dota, has only 4 or 6 abilities. The games have different skill sets, right? Like, I don't like really making those comparisons because you could be like, oh yeah, Counter-Strike only has 2 buttons, like reload and shoot. Like, okay. You know, but it's like you have a different skill set, you know? In games like Dota. Do we consider games where people die with defensives available? Don't stop CC change. Actual PvP. Are there any highly upvoted comments? We should celebrate 1800, 2100, 2400 in Shuffle. I don't know what garbage MMR you play at. You're a 2100 peak player hard stuck in Shuffle. So I don't know if this guy's just like trolling or a huge hypocrite or what, but I think that's kind of hilarious. Someone was also bashing you. Remember when Venruki said elite set should be moved back to 2250? His chat redoed, the older WoW players are so disconnected and just want to make the new players and casuals suffer for some reason. So for clarification on what this guy is saying, I never said that. What I said, and I still think this to this day, what I said and what I still think to this day is that it makes no sense. And I feel like it's almost, I don't know how you could possibly disagree with me. So what I said is it makes no sense to go through the brackets and fully unlock the elite Mog without unlocking the gladiator Mog. Makes no sense at all. The gladiator Mog, by almost every definition, is more prestigious than the elite Mog. Like, that makes no sense. Any way you slice it, it makes no sense. How the first season, like the first day of the season, I can go and earn the elite Mog before I have a single piece of the gladiator set. Makes no sense. Don't care what you say. I don't know if they need to like reorder it or what, but it's completely ridiculous. It's like you have this whole transmog that is being underused as a reward. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know if I ever said 2250. That I maybe just threw random numbers, but yeah. Soul Shuffle or 6,000 people or 2,400 already is definitely equivalent to 3s. Where it's 400 people, sure. You just proved my point. Being top rated. It's just like I just think people need to realize. So there's a lot going on. Rated Soul Shuffle is a joke. Says Mud. So here's the thing, okay? The whole like bracket shaming thing is really, really weird. People don't realize that people that love 3s, and I love 3s, but 3s and 2s, they're not gonna be as exciting and as prestigious if people aren't playing them. So we need to figure out a way. People want to play the game. People love World of Warcraft. They love PvP. The reason why they're playing Soul Shuffle is because it allows them to actually play the game. I think that's what people don't realize. It is very difficult to play the game. Like, incredibly difficult. If I go player versus player right now, and can I find a group? Arenas, find a group. 1,500. All right, let's see here. 1,400, 600 rated, 1,000 rated, 1,200 rated. 1,000 rated. So if like you're someone that's like a 2K player in 3s and you want to find games, like it is not easy, right? You're just going to be scrolling through trying to find someone of your skill level. LFG is just, it's a nightmare. LFG is a ghost town because of Soul Shuffle. Well, I'm going to be honest, man. LFG sucks. It needs an overhaul. Okay? It's awful. You can't even make a listing. Like, while you're sitting in these 30-minute solo shuffle queues, you should be able to make a listing to try to find people to play threes with, but you can't. Not to mention rampant gatekeeping when it comes to PvP and LFG. Well, it's just like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like, the systems that are in World of Warcraft only work when a lot of people are playing. You know? Like, getting Gladiator, for example, right now. Getting Gladiator right now, in opposition to getting Gladiator Season 1 of Shadowlands, like, it's not even in the same universe of difficulty. Like, it's completely different. Like, getting Gladiator right now, extremely hard. Like, you're only gonna get Glad if you're playing a tier 1 composition, you're queuing in the evening, like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to play the best comps with the best people at the best times, or Gladiator is gonna be you can't do it. In Shadowlands, easy. Sure, the entire game is spamming Mythic Plus and solo queue, but like, dude, I can't find a game at 1200 and 2s and 3s and LFG looking for... Yeah, I know you're trolling. But I also think it's really... One thing that I think is important to remember, especially, I mean, there's a lot of like diehard WoW fans, you know? Like myself, like Sea-Doo, like, you know, people that have been playing the game for a long time, they've been streaming the game for a long time, they've been a PvP advocate for a long time, you know? Make our living... make our living streaming the game and making YouTube videos on the game and competing in the game. And the most important thing is that, like, the casual player actually enjoys playing. I think that's something that people forget. If nobody can play the game, then nobody cares and the game's gonna die. So I think we should be like advocating to make it, you know, I don't know, figure out a way to get it so people can actually queue, because it's pretty brutal. Patch shuffle was actually nice. Rating was all F and inflated, but it felt motivating and queues were short. Yeah. The truth is, there's a really weird thing right now with solo shuffle in particular where they haven't tried to incentivize healers still very much. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. Nobody cares about Conquest and Honor. Like, Conquest and Honor is not enough of a carrot to get people to care about queuing their healer, you know? Abster says game is the best it's been in a long time, but solo shuffle queue hype definitely highlighted the issues with the other brackets. Low MMR inflation in 3s, low conquest rewards in 2s and 3s, no rewards from 2s, outdated LFG. Yeah. Fact that 2s gives you nothing is crazy. No pets, no mount, no title. I agree. RBGs is the same thing. Like, rated battlegrounds, 2s, you get nothing. RBGs give a rank 1 title. The rank 1 title in RBGs are a complete joke. They need to do like a named title in RBGs, you know? Like, this season should be Crimson Warlord, or Crimson Marshal, something like that. They need to do named titles in RBGs. Getting the same title over and over and over is the most boring thing ever. Nobody cares. I hate to say it, nobody cares. RBGs have had the same title for 11 years, exactly. Let me ask you a question. Once you get the title, do you care about getting it the next season? How much do you think people would care about getting rank 1 in 3v3 if every single season was Elite Gladiator? The title was just Elite Gladiator Venruki. Every single season, Elite Gladiator Venruki, Elite Gladiator Venruki. It never changed. How do you think people would actually care about getting it? No. I mean, maybe the first time you care, but after that, you don't care. Where Sea-Doo is wrong, though, from a healer point of view, when it comes to the skill and solo shuffle at 2400, how many DPS will you meet that LOS suppressed node defensive CDs? Oh, at least that's how I see it. Yeah, they could do, I feel like it would be really cool to, like, learn about classes. Like, this is something I've thought about that would be really, you know how, like, people are like, man, I don't get it. How can, like, rank 1 players just, like, pick up a different class and get high rated so fast? And it's mostly just game knowledge, right? Like, once you learn your rotation, you learn how to press your defensives, like, you already know positioning, blah, 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 blah. But I was thinking one thing that would be really, really cool for Blizzard to do is do, like in the PvP combat zone, you could be, like, somebody who teaches you. And it's like, I want to learn about Arcane Mage. And you do, like, a little thing, and it shows, like, what Arcane Mage does. It's like, Arcane Mage is really threatening with Arcane Surge and has a bunch of mobility, and you could do like a little thing about the strengths and weaknesses and some of like their most important abilities to look out for. And I mean, that'd be difficult to do, but I feel like it would be like a really good source of information.